Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. But most importantly, thanks for listening. This is the Real Retirees of New Jersey podcast with Peggy and Randy Fisher. It's all powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. You can get more when you visit therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You can find that and all the information here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. Now, let's get to the show. Peggy, I think it's safe to say that I'm just going to throw our show sheet away because right before we got started, I dropped a bomb on y'all and they're like, nope, that's what we're talking about.
I know. Please tell everybody what we were just discussing.
First and foremost, how are y'all doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
Was I in the conversation? Because I don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Yes, you were.
So, okay, before we get to that, we're going to talk about some of the speed bumps in life and in retirement. And I'm nowhere near, I'm 20 years away from retirement, but I just hit a massive speed bump. We'll talk about that in a second. Tell me first and foremost, you got a great educational workshop coming up. Tell me about it. Where's it going to be? How do we get involved?
We are so excited. We're having one of our awesome workshops, and that's going to be April 8 and 9 at 6:30 p.m., and that's going to be at the Clinton House in Clinton, New Jersey. Great place to come out and see us. We're going to talk about all kinds of great things about retirement, taxes, the Trump administration, how's that all going, all kinds of great things, to discuss.
Complimentary class, but registration is required, correct?
That is absolutely correct, yes.
And then let's say we want to go, but we can only make it to one of these dates. The event is the same. The conversation is the same for both nights.
Exactly. You just pick the night, come up at 6:30, and give us a call at 908-844-8337, and we'll get you all signed up and registered to go.
Give you a bite to eat and some great information as well. That's going to be April the 8th or the 9th, the Clinton House. Reserve your spot because seating is limited. It is complimentary, but seating is limited. We invite you to call right now. 908-844-8337 or get more at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. Hey, Randy, do you find that people are starting to cool a little bit about President Trump and the tariffs and the economy? Because it felt like for the first couple of months of his administration, the headlines, arrows going down and flashing breaking news and tariffs are going to be the end of the economy of the United States as far as we know it. Are people starting to kind of like take a step back and be like, okay, let's just see how this plays out?
Maybe. I think they're just becoming numb of it. Every day it depends on what channel you're watching and what minute you're watching the news.
Well, Randy, you have had a couple of clients this week and you told them, I could hear you from the other room, get off the stations that you're watching.
Yeah, change your news source.
That's what I heard you say that. Really? At least 3 times to 3 clients this week.
Honestly, change your news source.
Yes.
It really, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing, mind-warping information.
Yes.
It comes down to the whole thing about what you're looking for in the bias. If you're that biased and you're looking for either something that actually doesn't conflict with what you're thinking or something that does conflict with what you're thinking, half the stuff that I watch is something that I don't even agree with, but I just watch it because I want to know what someone else is thinking.
Yes.
Right.
Most people don't do that. They only watch what they feel comfortable with because they want to feel comfortable watching it and fit in, right? They go with the crowd. Most of these people that are out there right now, it is still, I think what we have right now, let me digress a little bit here.
Sure.
I think we have a different derangement syndrome because before it was continue to fight Trump because we don't want him to potentially be reelected. Now he's elected. He can't get reelected. I've actually heard 3 conversations about that the other day. He's going to go for a 3rd term. Okay, sure. And we're going to actually land astronauts on Venus in 3 years. Sure we are. People are out of their minds. They get to the point where they actually just spin crazy news to get all worked up over nothing, right?
Yeah.
If people would just step back and relax, they would realize that the world's not ending, the sky's not falling, it's not as good as everybody says it is, and it's not as bad as everybody says it is either, right? Things are going to move on. I think as we start to settle in, and I think what's happening is people are just becoming numb to the same sensation over and over and over and over again, and now it doesn't have its same sting, right? So a couple weeks ago, the sting was no matter what came out of somebody's mouth, it was unbelievably the end of the world, right? It's going to tank the economy.
Tariffs are
going to destroy the world.
Oh, yeah.
Doge is going to be the end of it all.
They're going to take away every right you have.
Everybody out of business and fire everybody.
Right.
So it's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, but that's because when we listen, like, as Randy says, I like to go to different stations and listen too. I can almost tell you the exact station that said that exact sentence of the exact client that called up. And Randy will say, turn off your TV. Stop, turn off your TV.
Does it start
the world
with an
isn't
MS
going to hell,
and
you know?
with an NBC?
Well, one of those. But the other thing I heard was that we're starting World War III with Venezuela.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anybody in the world can be sent out of the country. Blah blah
God.
blah blah blah. It's just craziness, right? It's just craziness. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah, what's going to happen to my money?
Yeah.
Doge is taking over.
Doge is taking all my money.
Yeah,
really? Doge is coming for your money?
It's like insane what they come up with.
They got enough to worry about.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, give me a break.
So, all right, let me ask you this, 908-844-8337. But we are emotional animals. We get emotion. And look, let's be honest. Doesn't matter if you watch Fox, CNN, or MSNBC. They need the viewers. Cable viewership is down, so they're going to say what they want their audience
without
to
a doubt.
hear.
Oh, yeah.
It's clickbait.
But what are you telling the families that you serve who come into you with these wild ideas other than just change the channel? How are you helping build a little confidence about their retirement strategies?
Randy, what do you tell those crazies that call you up and tell you that the world is ending?
I hang up.
That's the service I'm looking for.
I should just do what everybody else does. If you don't agree with us, just go away.
That's
we
not
only
true.
work with like-minded people
isn't.
here.
No,
It's not true.
That's so not true, though.
It's not
That's
true.
the whole point, right?
But I don't. I'm not in business to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist.
You're not?
No, I mean,
I feel like
half of our business.
I feel
seems
like
that
we
way,
are,
right?
though, Randy.
Right.
But I'm not here to convince somebody to think like me. That's not what I want.
Absolutely not.
What I want people to do is to think rationally and unemotionally about their money.
Well, it's hard to do
And
that.
those decisions which you need to make need to be made clear-minded. And they need to be made non-biased is probably the best way I can put that. If you are leaning just one way and you're going to make every decision because of one way in which you're leaning, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Period. The end. It's over.
That's the truth.
Right? And I don't care if you lean right. I don't care if you lean left. It's stupid because you can't make financial decisions off of political nonsense, right? Noise.
Exactly.
So if you're going to do that, here's the best tip I can give anybody that's listening to this show. Take your money out of wherever it is, put it in a big, giant coffee can, put the lid on it, and it's secure. Because no matter how whacked out you want to be on the right or the left, your money will be secure. Now, if you want to be rational, there are so many different areas of opportunity that are out there that we've been taking advantage of throughout this entire ordeal. And we're going to continue to maximize those opportunities moving forward.
Right.
This is an awesome time.
Especially,
awesome.
with anything going up
Right?
or down. We have ways that will help you with your money in that. Absolutely.
With the bubbles in the market due to the uncertainty, and that's the reason why we're having these massive bubbles back and forth, up and down, is because one day the market feels that it's absolutely uncertain and out of control. We have no idea what we're doing. The next day they get a little bit of certainty and then they can actually start to drive forward. These dips that are out there, if you're an investor, you couldn't have asked for a better period of time or a reset. Now, if you're on the verge of retiring, you probably can't sleep.
That's right.
Right? And if that's the case, you have to change your dynamics altogether. There has to be a 100%, 180 degree change in your approach. And many people don't do it. They just stay the course because they've always heard, just stay invested. Yep. It'll come back.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have time for that.
Do you have to go down with the ship in order to come back? How many years later do you want to wait?
And you don't have the time to make it up sometimes.
Some people are going to change their retirement plans because they just sat on the sideline.
That's right.
Right? Don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. There are many, many, many things that you can do out there to secure your retirement funds, secure your retirement plans, and make sure that you adapt to what's going on right now.
Absolutely. Give us a call at 908-844-8337. Let us work through some of those plans for you.
So you hear us every weekend here talking the real retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Now you're sitting there thinking, well, how many companies is this? Well, Artemis Wealth Advisors, that's Randy. And Randy, what do you do for the community?
I clean the toilets here.
And he's been Employee of the Month.
He is
36
the
months in a
Employee of
row.
the Month.
I clean the toilets. I make the coffee. I make sure there's water in the
I
refrigerator.
got a frame hanging, his portrait's hanging up for this month. and the next month, and the next month.
So what I do here, I actually run the wealth management portion of the corporations. Sure. So we deal with financial planning, we deal with wealth management, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, anything that's going to accumulate within the stock market kind of inedibility, as well as income planning and tax planning. So that's the side of the game that I'm on. Over the last number of weeks, the thing that I guess I've been sitting in meetings most of and listening is Peggy's been talking about the fixed side, which is how to secure people's retirements through annuities and fixed accounts, because they just don't want to take the risk anymore. They just don't have the risk temperature that's out there.
Or they're taking portions of their money, right? And,
correct.
And just
all of anything is no good.
A safer environment.
Right.
Exactly.
All of anything is no good.
Right.
All the stock market's no good. All the coffee can is no good. There's someplace in between that actually fits the right way.
Absolutely. But
That's
I also
Liberty Financial Group. Peggy, that's you.
Yeah, and we also do a lot of good insurance planning. I've had a few clients this week, giving them some good insurance policies. We have all different kinds, right, to protect your family if, God forbid, something emergency would happen
listen,
to
there's
you,
only two
right?
things that are going to happen to you, right? You're either going to get sick or you're going to die.
That's right.
So, and I know that sounds pretty morbid and not something that people want to listen about. But as you start to move towards the end of life, that's where it really happens, right? Yep. So you retire, you have a good time. Bottom line is you're either going to get sick, unfortunately, and someone's going to have to take care of you, or you're going to have the wherewithal to do it, or you're going to die.
We always talk about that commercial.
It's not if you're going to die, it's when you're going to die,
How about
right?
that commercial? We're like, John, we have life insurance, don't we, John? Because our neighbor passed away.
Yeah. Right.
But we have it. We're secure, right? And that's where, a lot of times people aren't secure with that. They don't have life insurance. It's always
But it's just another arrow in the basket, right?
Yes.
So it's the other piece of financial equipment in which you have, which makes sense. Now you can self-insure, right? What do most people do without insurance? They self-insure.
Yeah.
So when they pass away, whatever's actually left goes to the family. But if you have a mortgage, if you have outstanding debts, liabilities, college, whatever it is, ongoing income needs, how do you get those things accomplished?
Right.
If you want to buy pennies to the dollar, that's life insurance, right? So you use life insurance in order to get that done. Does everybody qualify? No. Is there a price for it? Yes. But there's also a price for dying, right?
Yeah.
So I've never met anyone, not in the history of me doing this over almost 3 decades, where I've sat down and delivered a death claim, where someone looked at the check and said, "Oh my God, I don't know where I'm going to spend all this money."
Yeah, right. They say,
I've never had anybody say that.
Oh, they say, "Oh, thank God we have something."
Or, "Oh my God, how am I going to get by?"
Right.
I don't even know if this is going to be enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. So, and then the worst ones are the ones that don't have any.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that, I thought we had insurance. Well, you know what? You guys let it lapse. Or we were going to get insurance, but you discussed it and didn't want to pay for it.
Right.
Okay, that's something that you do as well. You can sit down with somebody that says, "I thought I had," or "I think I may have," and you can find out if they do have.
Sure.
Right. Oh, yeah. We go through a full analysis with everybody on that.
It's not a great conversation at that point, right?
No.
Because they're starting to try to pick up the pieces and try to figure out how it's all going to come together. And that's the difference between being proactive or being reactive.
Right.
Being proactive means that, God forbid, something does happen, that I can actually initiate the plans that are in place, and I can go through and I can figure out what's going on, as uncomfortable as it's going to be. Reactive means, oh my gosh, I've got to somehow pick up the pieces here, and all the stuff's on the floor, and I have to figure out where it all goes.
Right.
If I even have any. That's the scenarios that we don't want to deal with, but we do, because most of our career has been basically picking up other people's pieces, giving them advice after they've gotten bad advice, or after they've done something, or they thought that they had a plan in place. They come to us and we look through it and we basically find some of the holes and we fill them. And that's how we help people out.
908-844-8337. Artemis Wealth Advisors, that's Randy. Stocks, bonds, taxes, financial planning. Liberty Financial Group, that's Peggy. Insurance and annuities. It's a one-stop shop. It's not like they have a 5-building campus. It's Peggy, it's Randy, it's a handful of team members behind the scenes to help you out. That's the team of Liberty Financial Group at Artemis Wealth Advisors. We invite you to make the call right now. 908-844-8337. They live here, they work here, they play here. They know the community and the surrounding area, and you can meet them when you visit the Real Retirees of New Jersey.com. You're talking about medical, and so this is where we got started with this weekend. Before we got started, I kind of dropped a bomb on you guys that we always talk about building the buckets. You need your play buckets. You need your investment buckets. You need your income buckets. You also need those emergency buckets in retirement. Well, I've always had bad teeth, right? It's my entire life. I can blame it on genetics. I can blame it on my parents, my grandparents, whatever you want to say. I've got fake teeth. I love them. They look good. Went to the dentist a couple of weeks ago. Come to find out, I am losing bone density in my gums and in my sinuses. What does that mean? My teeth are falling out.
Oh.
I had a couple of implants put in years ago. No lie, I'm sitting at dinner about a week ago. An implant fell out in my pasta.
No.
Yes.
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh.
Delicious.
Screw and all.
Screw it all. Oh, my God.
Hey, the good news is I looked at the server and said, excuse me, I didn't order this.
Yeah.
And got it for free.
Nice.
There's a tooth in my spaghetti.
There's a screw. That happens.
It really
often.
was. There was a screw in my spaghetti. So I had to go back to my dentist and say, what is going on? They're like, well, we usually see this in people a little bit older than you, but you're a special case. I'm going to be a case study now. You're losing bone density. So now I'm going to have to go in and either A, get bone grafts in my mouth or completely get a bridge put in, which means they're going to yank out all of my teeth and put in this bridge on the top and on the bottom as well.
I'd take that one.
Here's the scary part of all of this.
That's why they both scare me.
Insurance doesn't cover it
Oh,
You better get a second job, buddy.
because it's considered cosmetic dentistry.
that's not cosmetic.
That's not cosmetic. You can't chew and eat.
we need to go back to healthcare
Listen,
on that.
elephants die because their teeth fall out, not because they get old.
No, I don't know. On my side of healthcare, I would say that that's definitely medically.
I would agree.
Yes.
I
I'd
would
fight that.
agree.
I would fight that too.
I'll fight a tooth and nail.
Absolutely.
No pun
And nail.
intended.
Too
Yeah.
soon. Too soon. No. So let me ask you that question. We'll figure it out. We got some options in play. You know what it is? Here's what it is.
You
Randy
drink
Peggy.
milk?
No.
What do you mean you're losing bone?
I know. I don't know.
What do you chew on, rocks?
Sometimes.
Is that what they do down south?
That's what they do down there.
Don't you judge
They got
me.
nothing better to do. They
chew
whittle
rocks.
wood and chew rocks.
Oh my
That's right.
God.
You'll make fun of me because all this brown liquor that I drink.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there
That
it
white
is.
lightning, that moonshine will dissolve anything,
That
You're
moon's
below,
trying to take
you're
your teeth
below the
straight
Dixie
out.
line, baby.
including teeth. But this is the importance of preparation and being
Right.
prepared. Now, luckily, look,
Absolutely.
we're going to be fine. We got some plans in play here. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out. There might be a couple of days where I'm like,
Called intravenous.
hey, everybody, welcome to the Real Charge.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, kids. That old guy on the front porch shaking my face. Get off my lawn. So anyway, tell me about the importance of having these buckets for these speed bumps in life. Because as you just said, we're all going to have some kind of medical incident before we kick the bucket. You've got to be prepared for something like this.
Well, we do talk about things like that. So, in part of your financial plan is, do you have, well, you talked about it originally too, is about having the longer life. If you were 100, we talk about things like this. What would you need,
I
right?
was 100. I just let them fall out.
So exactly, but you're not. But healthcare costs, that's so major in a plan, right? Because
People don't take that into consideration.
they don't, and a lot of times they don't,
Nope.
right? Absolutely. Because things just like that, as you get older, whether it's your teeth, your hip, your leg, your foot.
I mean, listen, when you're 40 and 50 years old,
Yeah.
you have no idea what Medicare is.
Yes.
You don't know what an Advantage plan is. You don't know what a supplement plan is. You don't even know what's covered in the plan, right?
Right.
You just assume that you're going to have health insurance the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Or like you just said, what's covered?
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
said that's cosmetic to
Right.
to somebody who is in retirement
How
who
about
doesn't make a lot, and you're saying you have some kind of major uprise income that you don't expect, right?
Most of the questions have to do with prescription.
Yes,
Right?
big
What
time.
prescription's covered, what's not covered. And then again, like you said, Mark, is in this case, it's your teeth. What kind of procedure? I
Yeah,
I
a
guess that's what
procedure.
they call
Yeah,
it now.
yeah.
They call it a
Yeah.
procedure. Before that, it was called an operation.
Call it a
now it's
nightmare.
called a procedure. What procedures are actually covered? Right?
Yeah.
Is it going to be cosmetic or not? Is it life threatening or not? Is it something that needs to be covered under your health insurance? Is there a copay? All those things come into effect. What is on your hook before your actually insurance kicks in? Right. So all those things take effect. If you go to one doctor versus the other, if you're in hospital versus out of hospital, if it's if you have to stay overnight or if it's inpatient or an outpatient, you're right. All those things are within the whole realm of where is my health insurance going to take me in the future?
Yeah. And what will it cover, really? Right?
So when it doesn't cover, what happens?
You need
You have to
money.
make a decision, right? Mark, you're not going to say I'm not going to eat for the rest of my life, or
You're
I'm
gonna
going to
say-
eat soup for the rest of my life, or pudding,
Or
right?
I'm not going to have teeth in my mouth.
So something's going to happen. So you're either going to come up with a plan or lobby to get it taken care of. But there are some people that are out there that they will never get the ends to meet
Right.
in order to get that procedure done.
So it's all about the proper
So then what do they do?
Yeah.
They live without it for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Things get worse.
Yep.
God forbid it's life-threatening.
Yep.
And then they can pass away because of it. But it's because of the lack of preparation.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that they would have lived forever if they prepared. That's not what I'm getting at. But what I'm saying is maybe if you had an extra emergency fund on the side, or you took that into consideration moving forward, that you have extra discretionary spending within your portfolio or within your budget, those things will help overcome any of those. Now, we're talking about a medical emergency. How about if the car breaks down? I got out of my house today, pulling away from my driveway, and there was about 7 people standing on my neighbor's roof, ripping it off like I've never seen before.
And roofs, the average roof, I'm in homeowners. The average roof today is about almost $15,000 to $20,000. What if they just say, hey, guess what? You need a new roof.
They were going down to the studs.
Yes. Well, insurance companies too, today, they're very particular about roofs. If it's over 20 years, they get a new roof or we're not insuring you. That's big in New Jersey, folks. Everybody in New Jersey, listen to me. Be very careful with that.
People are getting non-renewed
because
and they're getting letters because they're sending drones over people's houses, looking at people's roof lines.
Yeah, I've had several clients this week really upset with that in New Jersey, that they were sending drones over your houses to check to make sure your roof was in good condition and,
Absolutely
is it
true.
adequate condition.
And the new company, if you do get non-renewed, they won't even look at you if your roof is 15 years or older.
Right.
So is it 15 years?
Yeah. No, well, 20 years.
20 years?
20 years and older, they're starting to look. So
most people say, I got a 30-year shingle. I have 10 more years left. Go scratch your rear end. I'm not getting a new roof.
But like you said.
Guess what? Well, you ain't getting insurance unless you do.
Yeah. And in retirement, are you ready for a $15,000, $20,000 new roof job?
Right.
Nope.
Right? That would have to be mandatory because you
Air
can't get
conditioning
insurance.
unit, boiler.
Right.
I mean, think about all the things that basically happen that can pop up that just they're added expenses that people go, oh, that's a one-off.
Right.
That's a one-off this year, but how about next year?
Right, exactly.
What's the next one-off?
Yeah.
You have to have enough available for the one-offs.
So I'm thinking about, you think there's a market for an OnlyFans account for a 46-year-old with a dad bod? I mean, there's got to be some kind of way to make a little supplemental income, right?
I think that's hot. Yeah, let's do it.
You're the one.
Listen, a couple weeks ago, I almost got busted on the radio for something. I just held my tongue.
I'm proud of you. You're growing up.
I literally just held my tongue, Mark.
Randy, I'm so proud of you.
Because if you pop all your teeth out, man, you'd be popular in a lot of places.
You sure would.
You know what? Maybe we're on to something. Let's have that discussion all fair. 908-844-8337. Again, 908-844-8337. Just the power of preparation, if nothing else, to sit down with the team at Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors to put a plan together for the what ifs, for the speed bumps in life. It doesn't have to be medical. It can be, as Randy just said. What if you get into an accident? What if a storm comes in and takes your roof off? Are you adequately prepared? Best way to find out is to reach out to the team and have this conversation. 908-844-8337, therealretireesofnewjersey.com.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.